yeah. Oh yeah. Talking point platform. TTPTV. Oh yeah. Unale we pledge with love and loyalty to we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as well on. For tomorrow, now we gon' make salute. And it's how where you there, it no matter. It's how where you be, it no matter. Anything you they do, it no matter. Oh yeah, it no matter. Now we putting up stronger one inside Sierra Leone, like a big quantity. Where breeze not a shame. TTPTV, talking points platform. Then they give you information about salute.
Yes, family, welcome back to yet another very important segment where they come through the Talking Point platform. My name is Mohamed Kago, and today is the 10th of July 2021. And we get some very interesting issues there where we feel say we view as in Salon people get stake in this. First thing first, we can try for look at the new chief minister, JJ Safa, what he mentioned about the economy, what he think, what he feel, the progress where the government don't make in terms of stabilizing the country, in terms of stabilizing the economy. And again, inside the program, we get security issue. According to police, the Honorable EMMANUEL CONTEH, police and suspects say he get arms in arms and ammunition where the smuggle inside the country, where currently as we speak, it help the police for do the investigation and some for other guys there. And the last one, some very interesting topic, this where some people, this not taboo, but not I feel say, I mean, we're not for shy for talk about this marijuana, jamba, people and they do and they smoke and then they go on. So certain thing, instead of we shy or we avoid for talk absolutely, why we not go just bring and kind of the mainstream, we discuss inside for see if we get benefit or not. So a group of Sierra Leoneans, the way now Rastafarians, we then team up, then say they don't get 12,000 signatories, where they call on the government for legalized marijuana, citing other countries like Canada, like America, like Switzerland, and many other South Africa. We don't legalize marijuana, we don't bring benefit to them. So this now then you won't talk. So with me now the program, I did with my colleagues back here, at least we can analyze the issues there thoroughly. And once I get the chance for contributing to the program, you can write your message, at least just keep on civil and respectful so that at the end of the day, we not go try for trample on the right or abuse anybody. Now, first, we look at, we welcome Mr. Kamara from the UK. Yes, Mr. Kamara. You can greet fam below the listen far and wide.
Yeah. Good evening, fam with them. Welcome. They start welcome back to TPP after a while. And thank you very much for our effort for allowing us stay tuned. And of course, as my colleague Dom saying in intro, we will there for analyze the issues tonight for now.
All right, thank you very much. And yes, we'll bring come to Una again. Dr. Alpha Koroma, you go greet people when they listen if I'm right.
Hey, Fambulemuna, good evening and Cabo for the program. Thanks for having me.
All right, very good. So we go straight to the point. One of the things we look for right now, we look at the economy, because everything about the world, all they talk about, country is centered on economy. The economy now, like the pillar. If we want build 20, 40 story, we get for make sure say them pillar they or them foundation they very, very strong. So the economy now like the foundation where they support everything. But we know this government where it can have power, it exclusively come with a title for like bread and butter for can solve we all problems for we don't cry for all along. But after 3 years now, we see some changes and drastic changes that don't take place, and we still they try to understand which how we did. Now, few days ago, the chief minister, the new chief minister, when Ajiji Safa, when a one-time finance minister also, they try to talk about the economy, how they don't try as a country, as a government. And in fact, according to them, they meet the economy very mess. And but right now, they don't put the economy in good shape. And things that are getting even more better. Now, before Kamo, you jump in, I just want to play these words from the chief minister, where they try to talk about the economy in better one, how the economy don't progress. Now, we take a courtesy from Radio Democracy. You can then do this interview. Okay, if I'm done, I'll listen to me.
We don't begin talk from the economy when I be Minister of Finance to now Chief Minister coordinating all ministries in the country. Now, when you look at the two office system, Mr. Minister, I know say you don't talk earlier, say now a promotion to another level, higher promotion. But if you are given the opportunity, they ask you which of them two ministries then the most you think say you fit in, which one you go choose?
Well, I will leave that to the public to judge, really, or President Bill to determine. It also depends on the timing. At a particular time, when I became Minister of Finance, it necessary that day. We had a very reckless economy, racial economy. I've been here for some fixed things about, and I'm pleased that I did it.
Okay, so Kamako, you don't hear from the man. That make now we not even talk for person. You understand? This now from the horse's mouth. What you make of this statement where the chief minister they say during the time of the in presence of as Minister of Finance, he fixed the economy, the bread and butter. So, I mean, your take.
Well, a bogus statement, and yeah, in as much as like we then can't take over, yes, there were difficulties. If you say you fix any country economy, we get, let's say the macroeconomy anyway, now they talk about, we get the 4 economic indicators and always we use for assess any country economy, whether economic growth or expansion they take place. When are the 4 things that we watch? And one of them are inflation, unemployment, you know, we get the next one called balance of payment and the country in GDP. So then 4 things, and if we look at now, then 14 that they use for measure anyway. That the 4 key things and the way they use. So if the 4 things you make improvement on them, then they say, okay, yeah, this economy they do well or they do bad. So like JJ Safa is an economist. So I talk, you understand exactly what I mean. If we go to the GDP, in they look at the country, the services and goods and way they produce, they measure them at the measurement of that they a need for support and the evidence say USA is the GDP go from where they take over. In which sector? We talk about employment. The unemployment rates in the country. In CSF, now that interview, I look half of our way in CSF accept say, well, you know, it talk about like what they talk about. They talk about like job creation, you know, private sector, self for help, and you know, will only be government. So, info don't give the figures then. Again, if you answer economy go, say okay, under unemployment rates, now so meet at this level, now so don't so thousands or millions of jobs that we don't create. Then another factor they watch. Then the key thing that what we call balance of payments again. Now that's same economics, you know. They watch, they compare your export to import. When you export more than what you import, that they get what they call trade surplus. Again, them includes the mining sectors where for don't they bring some foreign exchange at the country. Technically, me not even know what is alone the export. But I don't know if them talk about timber one thing. So if you don't do much export, you import more. You balance of trade now you can't they in deficit. So again, no improvement not take place yonder. So all the 4 now the 4 key economy, if you don't make improvement in anything, what do you really fix? So now like they deceive the people there. And in incapacity within the opposition, it be the act like what I will call like be the shadow minister of economy finance by then. Like where the shadow like UK the opposition and get shadow ministers. So like you get man when they focus on the economy and what they call shadow ministers. And exactly in that capacity they make them call on the bread and butter. Because they deceive the people then. Say, okay, we get the solution. If we come, I will fix the then tell what it's you know that they be there. we do this, we go deal with inflation. One man no inflation, who side the dollar they meet because inflation anyway now the percent rise in price of things in our country. We know say any improvement don't take place. Rise in price with them in 2018 to today, cement, everything at the country, and then at the inflation. You know what we say improvement, all down, everything on go. Everything bad. But like in they give the impression, I able fix them, in able to deceive the people there. So you don't make no improvement on that side, you don't fix nothing large.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, look onto yes. What's my own take? Because one of the arguments, Alpha, he argues say the world is constrained. They gonna die not because of Salon per se. According to JJ Safa, all the developed countries around the world then they suffer due to COVID. I mean, then like it shifts the blame on COVID situation. Hadn't been COVID, probably Salon go don't turn like heaven. What now you take based on this statement where the chief minister of the time for Botswana?
No, there is no doubt say COVID-19 don't bring enormous challenges to the entire world economy, even developed nation. They may mind you in a very underdeveloped or developed country, if you like. No doubt in that. But for Le JJ Safa, definitely just base and take that easy excuse and base in excuse on COVID-19 solely is very, very much dishonest, disingenuous, you know, because now just exclude say maybe March or April of 2020, we Salon record in first case. Law pull down year day to now, like an year law pull on. But law take the time where JJD as finance minister and they run the country. So somewhere in 2020 last year, I'll say 2 years before COVID, and then let we check level of inflation and GDP and employment and what have you. Then we go know if you don't fix the bread and butter, you know, because even developed countries them way then ministers or ex-presidents them they talk about economy. But I say prior COVID, for example, now so we've been don't do before we can get this downhill and trajectory because of COVID. So I believe say even pre-COVID we not be in the right trajectory. And like I can more say we shadow cabinet, you know, the shadow finance minister, it's sort of like easy, you know, maybe with in your notion say government will fix anything, you know, and you can see them sometimes in their attitude when they go tell you say we don't add so amount of teachers, so thousand of police, so thousand. Yes, it's good government for try, but the big clue in being gets in the private sector gets so much more for help into the economy in terms of employment, especially where you say then you take inflation almost rest, for example, being day prior to the election and after the election towards prior COVID, you take inflation of rest and so many other things. I believe if you take all Lentin and the get them both issues not be non-solved, you know, but Africa for the most part, it's like na magic, you know, where you go your leaders and they say we don't fix the economy, we don't do this, and call some kind of big numbers there. We know they reflect now people in life, you know. I rather let somebody you say we day in the trajectory of fixing the economy and they get social challenges rather for say we don't fix them and quote certain big numbers, unfortunately not reflect into the life of the ordinary person.
All right, thank you very much. Again, we all know, yes, just like when I mentioned, for govern a country is challenging, but especially when we get a country where the resources are limited and Salon around national-driven country, we highly dependent on anything and everything on abroad. Even food, can you imagine, even staple food we eat past we take them from other people there. Where these are one of the issues there. Because like solving Salon issues and not to think we're extraordinary. These are artificial problems that we can fix for us. I mean, Salon people in most cases they not ask for much. If we get leaders and more focused, then set them priority right. Believe me, I have faith in 5 years. If they set the pace well, I mean, genuinely, sincerely, people and work as a statesman, definitely will stay massive. One of the things that I feel say in any shape form no government of even allowed them 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, or not solve. When at the food business, there's no way for them for food importation, particularly less. There's no way. We're not getting no business for importers. We're not getting no business, absolutely. Especially we'll get everything. God give you fertile land, water, sound, just like when I don't play for you, they don't play for you like the debate, everything don't nice enough for just go lay down. Right now, if you look at the way rest they go, one bag rest is more than 300,000, 350,000. But again, you will see some of the defend what the ministers still defend the government. Let me just say it for my game before we jump to another topic. Where they still they address that issue, but then we still they try for solve them. But we just want at least it's not about we using big English on people, certain things. I feel like when I talk, maybe as a shadow minister, whatever, you're on a position, you know exactly. I don't know sometimes how we Sierra Leone politicians think. When they're in a position, they see things in real time. But once they are in power, then I think they become blind. I don't know. Because one of the things that where even the president promised Salon people and say the food importation, Salon rest particularly, then they solve it. Now 3 years sooner, nothing will not see. And these are things where I feel say them for pay more attention rather than focus on other things. Because an angry man is an angry man. Why make for see most people and see they quick, they want facts, them picking and quick. You make joke one for come up perfect self. That's unperfect because like people are at just one, not because of necessarily the government per se, but because nothing they for do. Things food not there. They're angry. Let me just further on the chief minister in talk on the economy.
The expectations of Sierra Leoneans can be very high, especially the role you play in the campaign. And like we Khadija be asked you earlier, the pronouncement the way you make for the ordinary people. In your first interview we'll do it, we just can this morning, you talk about the confidence where you don't put in the economy, especially with donors them. But the people, we the ordinary people, critical of waiting the cost of living, for example, things the inflation of things for it now the country, for example, high. And we see in this when as Minister of Finance, we get the opportunity for meet the people, the ordinary people. Now as Chief Minister, we see we don't take the role for go meet people and the community for engage them. Waiting people here they tell you that a community there where you go, where you don't start for go. But first begin tell me why you they go in a community there.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, in the first instance, really, I was doing part of it, but I do more of that now. You're right in that respect. You see, taking from the education sector, we got this policy where they call radical inclusion. Everybody in, no one out. So I just expanded to government-wide operations. You get there, the communities, the youth, they are the women, they are part of society. So the link between them and government will be strengthened. And you only do that by going to their own territory, their comfort zone, hang out with them, discuss with them, help them where you can help them, and probably transmit their feeling upward. So it's really try to understand what's happening on the ground. But the good thing is that I know the ground a little bit better. I'm proud of that. I've been long on the ground. I still do operate at the ground. They relate to the ground. I'm just revisiting the ground. I'm not a stranger on that ground.
So it's the young people there, they tell you where they go meet.
Well, the general situation, but young people, you get to understand the question of jobs. That's one. But the jobs, again, when you do an analysis of the job, like they're related to the employee, to their skills. You see, some of them, even you want to give them jobs now, the problem will go, what type of jobs can I give them? You see, so the whole thing here is that what the young people really need is a very serious engagement, serious counseling for improve, and we got to make deliberate effort for give them skills. Give them skills to have jobs. That's why as a government, we embark on huge programs, though we try to expand over the period. There's a cultural program going on, there's a public works program going on, there's a Munafa fund going on, we got to roll them out. But the problem has been so deep in this country, and it remains so deep that anything we do, like do not see it.
So this,
but the fact remains, the agenda for doing better for this youth, it don't cause.
So this
Yes, so yeah, come on. the agenda for doing better is there on cause, and he said that don't restore confidence in donor. But now you take, I mean, like, I don't know if now the donor then votes this government, or now Salon people then votes this government, because most of, even when the president 3 years, one of the statements will go social media, will go viral. Now Salon SLPP government don't restore with international credibility. I mean, I know this is just what now you take when from what you don't listen to the chief minister.
Well, the key factor now, they say we in the opposition. Usually, we're not honest with people. Then it highlights like few factors, and now like from the first video, it is shift on COVID, like external factors, and it's therefore saying internal. They talk about even if one give the people a job with the skills they wouldn't get. Well, may not see the jobs they wouldn't really create to start with, and not to all skills jobs you get say everybody need to get degree or know a lot of technical thing then for make able create jobs for them. Even where you live in the West, not to everybody know or sabi book. Even like the perception where people they get say, okay, England a book country. If you look now the actual British, not everybody cares about education. Then believe they can get life and then prosper, then get job. Now other sectors, mostly now the private sector, they don't even need education at their life. Then they say, yeah, all other things I can just hold my phone and go. But then get that perception, say you for be highly educated for let able to create job for you. Then now it only external factors where it put forward say, okay, now the factors and this make people able to deliver. But where it be the opposition, you talk and say, okay, this government may be there, that rubbish. Then able fix that. Where we can with the fixer. So you don't kind of give the people that are confidence you get them, yes, and then you the chance. So you know how to excuses anymore now if we say, okay, now it is based on factors and we not get control over. So that's like a deception, and you know we use that like excuse, and nobody know the way we will like for example, me know we will be because if when you the opposition make a class now external factors, then even them are we did try. Now this make you understand, but we go do better than that. Then it will make sense to me. For begin for be honest with people there. You understand? But now you talk where you the opposition say we able to fix that. Then we can begin get excuse. Say no, this, that. No, but anyway, nobody know the list. Pass that not serious. But any serious somebody not get for buy that story.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, gentlemen, this topic on the economy not ever done. So, and if we say they continue for talk on that, probably we're not going to even finish even in the next 2 to 3 years again, because issues are still there that they go on where we'll not even talk about. So the next thing where they on the program now about a security issue. One thing where I want let Salon people understand, no country absolutely, I repeat, not a move, not a develop. Now they talk about jobs, development, progress, but without security, without peace and stability, no sensible investor, no commodity, add and money gonna country gonna war on. Elect the prospect of making billions, you know they go there. Now the point is we get information from the police, say one, because the names and some of the names they're not too matter. I mean, now Motamande, but then what's now the society not too high. So we will mention the name where high. When one APC honorable, when EMMANUEL side CONTEH MP constituency 129 Western Oba. According to police, they intercept some arms and check and see say yes indeed. This consignment, this container, they all got this gentleman's in privilege in name. So even though we're not a kind for can't judge, but we're trying for just caution about how important security is. So we not to say again, now it might be say them frame them up, it might be say we don't know anyway. The investigation still they go on. But what you want to talk about, the peace and stability in the country that can force, no matter what. That's not the deadline. We will not for choke, we will not for put politics on that, we will not for do anything where they destabilize the country. We'll get a notion, we'll get a tendency for bringing the can down. We all for Sierra Leone or for condemn. So whether you be an honorable or minister, whatever, anybody in the country, and we see it again, some sort of photos they go around on the social media. Why we not take us serious? Because we will get fact up on it. Now, Balamuya border, they catch one motor with some cartridges, but that is not just a rumor. Pictures that we see, so we're not even talking. We don't show no more. Just at least for point how important security is. Security is everything. Peace is everything. Without peace, we know the move. Rwanda, the first bloody one of the most brutish or nasty one at the world. But because they get peace, Rwanda today now one of the fastest growing country. So we don't fight. We fight no. We know how war against our country. If we don't do so, it do for we. Now, for local just puts a pressure on the leaders and make them do the right thing. That's not the thing. But anything, any semblance, any kind of key business, we get the tendency for bring calm one at the country, not the support. But now, before you jump in, Mr. Kamara, let me just hear from the police itself regarding this. And also, this is an issue where a lot of people are here, but again, we get some people that still at the first and this for a year. And again, someone for let you refresh, let you remind yourself, we all get reward for play for make sure Salone become a stable country, a peaceful country, so we go attract more investors there, and what we wish for the country becomes a successful one. Now we listen from the police, waiting and talk about this situation.
At 20:00 hours on Friday, the 2nd July 2021, the regional commander, Freetown East Ross Road Police Station, in the presence of CSP Francis Hazen and team, arrested and brought 4 suspects, namely Michael Alpha Fauna of number 8, Kisi Road, Freetown, Nabi Yunus Bangura of number 83, Regent Road, Police Station, Freetown, Serif Tal of number 2, Ladner Street, Isi Freetown, and Honorable EMMANUEL Saidu CONTEH of number 1F of Olegi Road, Congo Cross, for the offense of conspiracy to commit a felony, to which unlawful is in active progress. They are all at CID headquarters.
Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of operations, Amadou Mana, said there are 7 pistols, 100 bullets and 12 magazines already in custody of the police.
If the things originated from America, then we know nobody is going to look at the vehicle and look them for vehicle. Say no, that this one had a big trouble. You can't put 7 person will get. But to put 7, then there will have been a lot more suspicion.
Responding to concerns raised about the presence of the owners.
What we suspect, if it is firearms, wait, if it is firearms, we don't need whether we just firearms, we will not even wait. We'll call, we say.
Yeah, so Mr. Kamara, what's now you take regarding the serious situation, the security situation regarding the police, this particular case? What now you take?
Oh, well, personally, anybody will go anchor with instability na the country in a way everybody they condemn anyway. Because we know and go back to our experience of war and how it affects the country. People who of we or Sierra Leoneans and go to refugee in other places, them some still get that mental torture on them. Man, like we say, me if that boss and still the panic. It always happens. You hear that, that loud sound because we don't used to undoing the war. So still, like people then get it. So like generally, people then if anybody engage in them, they condemn them. You understand? But like maybe you don't take on them for let you go arrest people then, whether you try for politicize or not. You say then call 7 pistols. Always at the talk and like from Paulo in case. You say the man will sit out, you go on, look at and what he go and do to go on the and what he didn't really will not be the intention. You analyze and left, right, they make no sense. Now, like with 7 pistols, wait till they go use 7. Because now you include the opposition, one of the opposition MPs, and waiting the opposition they will use 7 pistols for doing the country. Then you go, you hold press conference, get strong evidence, charge them to court, you hold them press conference, and they waiting that they mean, let me just talk about because me they watch at the economic way. Anyway, if you take gun, you say we don't arrest gun, like 7 pistols to not go able to stabilize Salonio. But when you bring them, the international community will see that day. You understand? It breed what they call pessimism. When they look at the economy. And yes, and that will bring instability. We bring instability now. So maybe just get the bill. That instability, they drive investors in. Nobody know they bring your money in that country. That job creation we talk about, and the key part for any economy going away the private sectors and get for camp, they can inject more money in the economy and create jobs there. Now them they create more jobs. Now any country, the private sector they create more jobs than the government itself. So if you're not sure of them kind of thing, you go public, you talk about analytics, you get people there. Then you get in a situation where you've been able to fix the economy, to be honest. One of the key factors for fix economic employment, we to encourage people to can invest and create a job in the country. Then I like you to stop so with any kind of statement and if you're not sure of them. You understand? You know, tell you see the train people then, yes, you will get intelligence reports, the different train guerrilla fighters and the one bring the and that's again for the tangible before you go public. You understand with them? Because you know the way people then they forget our mindset is the salon a place where it's safe for do business, a place where it's safe to invest. If you don't get enough information, then say when I deal with them until you are sure of them before I bring them out. Not just bring them for can score political point. Yes, probably you try to forget the impression and paint the opposition bad. Say when I then attitude this, if they're not in a power, then go and bring war. But on the flip side, you get for look at them. What's it mean? To international partners, to investors, to business industry, then we can that country for investors. They also get the impression, say, Salon did at the blink for go to another war. No, that therefore affect you. And you already they went Gombu say you never fix the economy, you never fix unemployment. So me personally, I may take that. Obviously, nobody know they learn. Nobody will get me wrong. If you get clear evidence, say yes, that they come. Anybody want come for destabilize the country, you get for take on them very hard. But if you tell me say 6 pistol, I wonder what you do. You never destabilize the village with 6 pistol. Anyway, so not to enough community on that way, they pose so much stress. Anyhow, it's small. When I for able
okay,
deal with.
If I can jump in, we never know. Like you say, little drop of water and can make a mighty ocean. That's small piece now to assist and can smell it. I mean, let's say 7 piece to can, 8 people, another consignment, 20 can, another consignment. I mean, accumulation. We are not talking about, we're not saying that's what they happen. But again, I mean, like they say, prevention is better than cure, as white people they say. And if we don't suspect, even if in a 5 piece to self, you know, this is a very serious concern.
No, I will the past and this way for they see the West. For example, look like would they get incident in every country they will get incident like that. They will get the MI6 in the intelligence branch na UK. They can able them and then will deal with an isolated case because you know go and paint and be you affect other sectors there. You deal with them first. It's serious. I make a highlight and say that's serious thing. But enough, you don't get enough evidence of that. It's strong. You get for no, you don't have with you, they take you run care and media because you want to score political point. That's my point about this.
Okay.
We mature as a nation for deal with them here. Nobody knows say, yeah, we say see 6 gun there, not so enough thing. But try for deal with it in such a way you did arrest, get enough evidence, know the source, go deep, you know, get everything, then can clear it way good. No matter how you look at them, you don't go public, you don't do a national radio, you don't announce, and if me and investor I get 2, 3, 4 million, I want to inject into salon economy right now, I step back. That is clear. Now the business point of view, they look at that. They say, yeah, there's a tendency say that they go out to war soon. Which security I get with me money? Nobody know they invest in money. You know, with the aim say let you lose them. Anybody they get 10 million as salon for let that money they grow over time. To 11, 12 million, not for letting 10 million go lose them, we say instability. So now kind of now the wrong message that means try for say. You sure of this? You get enough evidence? Yes, before you bring an approach. So now like advice to the side, whosoever say you want to bring the ammunition, not to the right approach. Wait, if you tell government, election come, you campaign, you win. Not the right thing to go, not bring gun. You know, equally at the try for destroy the you self within a government. If you not get enough, not score political point in time. You understand? And discourage and get investors in the country.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, yes. Alpha, what's in your own take?
Yeah, come again, I don't get you.
Yeah, what's in your own take? based on this? Because it might be a sometime then framer, because just like we Komon analyze, it makes sense because certain issue not for blow out of proportion, okay? Because at the end of the day, we get people and the media they go find right. You don't know what the get intention for going invest, like we say, maybe $2 million, $3 million. Then see even then small segment or then small news that can scare potential investors. So what now you take maybe we don't know, maybe politics play inside, maybe not just a way. What's now your own general observation about this whole situation?
Well, I can't tell obviously. These are holidays, you cannot tell if genuinely the man with in other calls them as then they allege. Now things where maybe they don't they do, then they plan something. You cannot tell again if now politics they play. Now politics they want use because I don't see other people them they talk say the man very voicey for us and now my way they make him voice known now parliament vis-a-vis with regards within that happen at the country. So they want free man, they want set them up, who knows, but to come more in point about let me not blow things out of proportion. I think to start with, I'll go such points where I don't know if immediately where the police see weapon, then call them now customs or what now, and then do them press conference, or maybe now when the people them don't know certain things begin happen, police decide for clarify. I just rush immediately after then do the warrant and search and catch gun and just can't make press conference and all. That's totally wrong. I mean, can na such things you go say the government or what have you, they use police for score political point, because I believe say this na such things where the police can deal with privately, investigate more the root cause. I mean, from some other places then ship and come. So obviously when I get for do all them traces then they do an investigation, and when the need be then I can clarify certain things for the public. But such things I believe say the intelligence community for able do the investigation, and if they get the necessary how you call them evidences, then they can charge to court. But there lies waiting a lot of Sierra Leoneans and them they long for impartial judiciary, because we all know say whether in our opposition or whether in the ruling government, politicians will always be politicians, left their own kukujumuku, whether now somebody want cause destabilization, or whether now somebody in government and high places one frame another person for silence. Politicians will always be politicians, and for the most part, and we believe in infiltrate and use police. But if we get impartial judiciary, just like in the case of Paolo, I mean, a landmark case, because we all been the say obviously this man maybe they go sentence and to death. But when we get the jury and all, people then we try for polar integrity, they make sure say who side for fair and guilty, then fair and guilty, and no side for exonerate them, they exonerate them. I can just wish, because I don't get any magic for no waiting at the truth behind this case. I can only wish say police them stand up to integrity and investigate well. If not just any things we not to serious something, they exonerate the person. If they get evidences, then they can charge to court, and let the court uphold justice and give the man all necessary for like proving himself innocent, because I believe say they go get all in papers outside and ship the cars and what have you, and people and so then can able contact outside and ship the shipping agency and the ports and get all the necessary papers and present them. And I mean all ammunition and this thing, ammunition numbers, bullet number, this now all anything they are in the data archive. So in high profile cases, them now things that we can easily be traceable. All them again numbers. I like na Somali it comes na things that we get numbers. So I believe say if people and just do the due diligence and we get an impartial judiciary. I mean, if even the case go court, we go get a very acceptable result. But then Sierra Leoneans will not believe in with judiciary for a very long time. Now perennial issues. Now I make it see you go get this one faction will talk so, this one faction will talk so. But with the open place, moving forward, we will get an impartial justice system and police also.
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe we'll just take two texts now from text that we come. One come up from Alusan Zidane Kanu. It's a great program, guys. All the best. Thank you very much for joining us. And again, this one they come up from Amadou Kamara. Great conversation forum. My take for the guns conversation. Transparency with public is very important. Thank you, Amadou, and we tell now plenty for our text with the can inside. We come to the next the last item on the table. The last talk about the thing where a lot of people over the years don't shame for talk when a jamba, marijuana, sensimi, sense board, dinem sembo kupana. You understand this thing, but something not so because you not talk about I know exist, not so because you not like them, you know for talk about them, not so because you know small. I mean, these are things that for centuries, countries, the world on the fed for let them keep a secret. So let at least not even discuss them. But things that don't change. I mean, change don't they happen several times now. We see again, most countries in the world depend even debates how to legalize marijuana. For example, America, they get more than 13 states we don't legalize marijuana, and it don't bring very serious money for them. And in Canada also, in fact, they even get a cannabis company there where at least right now they don't legalize it, where they bring tons of money inside it. And of course, in Africa, you get places like South Africa and other places. Me take here is now what we see from some Sierra Leonean Rastafarians where they call on government, notably one the leader, Nawam Mohammed Elijah the chief advocate, where say they don't get more than 12,000 signatories around the country, where done sufficient for petition, talk to government, but then look into the benefits of marijuana, economic-wise, medical-wise, in fact, even go further for say even get spiritual benefits. But before we come to this properly, now we just go global quickly. We check and see what's happening in some places, like, notably from America first, because you know America and then they rule the world. If they sneeze, the rest of the world they catch cold. If they say this is fine, I mean, most of the country they say fine. If they say bad, most of the country they because they get the way for let you say bad, for let you say good. All right, I'll just get this one quickly.
Legalized marijuana movement set to get its biggest push yet. The Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer vowing to have the Senate take up a pass of the bill to end the federal ban on cannabis. So far, weed's fully legal in 15 U.S. states and the district, both for medicinal and recreational use. And it's already big business. According to a financial firm, the cannabis industry is projected to hit $24 billion in legal sales this year. CBC's Frank Holland now on the impact.
Right.
Frank?
Shep, industry leaders say it would also lead to an explosion of job creation, real estate development, and just a better experience for users. And according to data from Leafly, given exclusively to CNBC ahead of their annual report, cannabis created around 70,000 jobs in 2020, more than double the amount in 2019. Legalization would also bring in more tax revenue. In California, for example, the biggest legal cannabis market in the entire world, it's estimated cannabis will generate $1 billion in taxes. In 2019, $635 million was generated from cannabis. And of course, people often buy cannabis-related products that are also taxed, whether it's papers, a bong, even a lighter. Those sales about $18 billion in 2020. But this, of course, isn't just an economic discussion. Many people have.
Yeah, so family and this now from America we can. But let me relate this exactly, because why we just bring a can let people and just see the trend at which they move. Now, come on, what now you take? How are we really having the capacity, the infrastructure, or it's just a sort of kind of abuse people and just want to use because of America don't legalize, most states and don't legalize, Canada don't legalize. So people and just want bow would live they use live for let them give them freedom for make the abuser, because their country they're well structured and they're well detailed. Now then they legalize them, but the legalization they bring some money for them. You know, in fact, you see the details, create jobs and what's now you take? Are we just copycatting or we not joke the joke or what now you take with regards to legalizing marijuana in the country?
Well, an interesting topic, honestly, but probably Dr. Alpha ain't able to go there. Then we will analyze the medical advantage or
When it
disadvantage.
comes to no, these are your general.
Yeah, no, not, yeah, I just want to start
when it comes to the medical side,
because I want to start with to start with, Jamba is alone. Plenty. They smoke and they use and they abuse it already. You legalize it and all they did it. So which difference it make anyway if you legalize it now or you not legalize it? Then they will stop it. So now you just get for look and say, okay, if it with a consumer that is quantity, but we know they create job because like the small one, then they get no tax revenue. Then in other words, the government they lose. But we can get for looking, so we can talk about because anyhow you talk about marijuana, you just look the economic aspect of it. You get for look the and how it affects young people. I can able to put down all authorities say now the UK over 60% of the youth population they smoke marijuana na street before police. Whether illegal or not, do any research on it. But every side, not to see where they are, but I think you get the quantity where they meet on you where it become crime in the UK. But it's everywhere in a hider. Every youth meets students there in university, school, picking there 16. In vast great everybody almost I would say of that age they smoke cigarette in the country and they smoke weed. They smoke them. So but like I can relate into like for example, my small experience with tramadol. When you think you get certain pain, they prescribe tramadol for you in the UK hospital. You go back. But anything how you use that. But Salo with the abuser. So probably in that part they are feel say the government in responsibility. If they get for legalize or whatever they do with that.
Okay.
But how you control them?
Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah, Dr. Ava, what do you take when it comes to the medical benefits and recreational or in general? Is it time for Salon to legalize marijuana based on what grounds?
No, absolutely. I think to start with, no, I think Salon get more pressing issues, but just want to make some certain clarifications because I read this article of this organization or consortium where they push for the legalization of marijuana, and it's pretty solid, but there are some few misconceptions. Firstly, for even America, in most states, federally, marijuana is illegal in America. Federally, America, they operate a federalist system here, in which each state, they get their own state legislature or mini parliament, they pass their own laws, then get a federal government. But certain states now, America don't sort of legalize them. But for medical use, there is a big difference. Yes, few states then they don't pass them for both medical and recreational. Recreational meaning you can just use them for pleasure and what have you. But in most states and even outside of America, most other countries, the marijuana for medically, meaning just like Karmo mentioned, tramadol and other opioids, then get for be prescribed by a physician or certain healthcare practitioners. So not to just you go just do that. Certain time people just they look at the freedom of and the liberty we then get or the economy where it could bring the benefits of, just like you take for example cigarette, tobacco. Illegal, but it causes millions of deaths worldwide every year. You understand? Even at the packet of cigarette, they write and they say it's not good for health. And even other medicinal substances, then take tramadol, take even to common Tylenol or paracetamol. When you take the one and they all in excess, they all get side effects. So in the case of marijuana now, for say, Karmoda allude to that. We legalize our, we not legalize our boys they take them, boys they misuse them. You understand? For me, I believe say maybe if we legalize them, it will bring them in terms of say medicinal use. With even salon not get the capacity now, we not get the industries and pharmaceutical industries and for create certain drugs there with them. But if we allowed certain people and forget them farm and export them, then they go bring them, it go create job, it go bring them tax revenues inside the country. But I believe for say for legalize them for smoke them, well I can't say, I believe in the same for tobacco, you know, for cigarettes. People they smoke cigarettes, it's sort of illegal, but it's very harmful to the health. So to each their own. If Sierra Leone then put it into how we call a referendum, people then go vote for them. To each their own. You know, for no say enough if I can smoke jamba, but enough for do daboku, just like cigarette. One cigarette is harmful, but if you smoke 10 cigarettes, now so you the harmful effect don't multiply times 10. So the same thing to marijuana. You know, it can get a lot of medicinal benefits, but if you go abuse them where you not get the certain medicinal things the way for use them, obviously it gets certain psychotic effects. Nobody no tell we say marijuana get certain harmful effects. Every other drugs way man don't create, be it pharmaceutical drugs, the way the hospital, more or less get some form of side effect. So I believe for say, as I say, to each their own. That one are the government and lawmakers the responsibility for make sure say they consult Sierra Leoneans them and experts, because I know Sidona I inform experts. I just don't give me broad opinion medically. Experts, then weighs the pros and cons in terms of medicine, in terms of economy, and how the thing endemic in a salon. Then go make a decision moving forward if now something they can legalize or put into the hands of the voters then for decide on that. Because every other country, even America, now things then we not to only the state governments they decide. Now the individual citizens them get for decide, because everybody responsible for your own personal health get for decide say yes we can legalize them. So I believe say law not just look at we freedom say for smoke anything or the economic benefits, but also the adverse health effect it go bring come. And he already done in a salon. Even if they not legalize them, we get a lot of people and we don't get psychiatric issues based taking harmful substances, marijuana, tramadol, and what have you. And I believe for say the government try for any way for advice we youth if even then they take them, but for no say too much of one thing is good for nothing.
Yeah, thank you very much. So gentlemen, so I think saying so we go tap the program here. One for use this opportunity for telling plenty thank you for January. We appreciate our comments. And we will come back here again tomorrow with another very important program on Health Corner, where Dr. Alpha will host regarding the vaccination. Mr. Kamara, what's your last word? What's in you?
We just will say we don't deliberate on the topics tonight. People that don't listen, we appreciate them, wait and stay tuned and listen to the program. And we'll try for the other way. I apologize say for the long break and let them be assured we'll be back live and direct, and we will come with the issues them where they affect the country. We will come, we will discuss how we highlight them to them from an objective analysis. Now we know they sit on for represent any political party or anybody in interest of view anyway. So I just will say let them stay tuned to TPP. We always will bring the topic there where they need or way important and educative to them. Then I'm here on take host Mohammed Kago. So I'll pass on to you.
Yeah, yes. What's my last word, Alpha, before we say goodbye? And if you want to give hints now on the program tomorrow again, well done. You're welcome, more than welcome. Yes, Alpha, you get me? Yes, what's my last word? And if you want to give an hint on the program tomorrow, yes, you're welcome.
We just want to say for many other programs like this, for let you know miss na TPP, make sure that you follow we now we in Instagram and like the Facebook page, and also go subscribe na TPP Leon, you know, so you're not gonna miss any of the interesting program they bring come. And on a tune in also tomorrow evening for Health Corners time and same place as we go talk about COVID-19 and vaccination. Till we meet tomorrow on Atata.
Okay. So family, tomorrow we will see you back. Bye bye.